Reds opening day 2017 brought a record crowd to Great American Ballpark last week. Hope springs eternal, even though fans have watched the Reds finish in last place the last two seasons. While experts predict similar results this season, this week's Business Courier centerpiece focuses on why this man has reason to smile as the season gets underway. This man is Reds general manager Dick Williams. Business Courier reporter Steve Watkins caught up with him at Red Spring Training Camp in Goodyear, Arizona, a couple weeks before opening day. He talked to Watkins about the Reds' rebuilding plan and says he is confident it is working.
I'm very encouraged by the pace, and I'll say this going in, it's really dangerous to put specific timetables on something like this because you have so many variables involved: player health, player performance, the talent available to us in the draft each year. So we're sort of beholden to a lot of variables outside of our control. But what we can control is developing the talent we get. And we feel really good about the young crop of players that we've brought in the last couple of years through trades and through the draft. We see some guys with some really high ceilings, and we're starting to see them perform well here in spring training.
The Reds have also made investments in international scouting, nutrition, and sports science in the past year and have added coaches in the minors. Business Courier reporter Steve Watkins joins Business Courier editor Rob Dawmeyer in the studio with more on his one-on-one conversation with Dick Williams. Steve and Rob.
Peg, thank you. Steve, thanks for being here.
Sure.
So you were out in Arizona for some tough duty talking to the...
You can't beat that assignment,
to Dick
you?
Williams. No, you can't. So as our headline in today's, in Friday's paper said, why is, this man has a reason to smile. They're not going to be good this year. Why would he be smiling?
They probably won't be good this year, and they haven't been obviously the last 2 years. But he does have plenty of reason to smile. He talks about a lot of the young talent. He mentioned it there in the clip. They've got two rookies in the starting rotation this year. One literally named Rookie Davis. They've got a couple other young, promising pitchers: Cody Reed, Robert Stevenson on the roster. Some other good young players like Jose Peraza, Eugenio Suarez. Promising guys like that. Adam Duvall's off to another good start. And then they've got some good guys. He told me about another wave of players that's coming. Nick Senzel played. He was a top draft pick last year, played at Dayton, and is one of the top prospects in all of baseball. And they had the #1 ranked draft, according to Baseball America, last year. They're going to have another high draft position this year. So they're piling up a lot of these prospects. And he talked about how important it is to just get a big volume of prospects. And then you see how they pan out. Some pan out and some don't. The more chances you have, the more likely you're going to hit on some of them.
So a couple years back, the Reds had a stretch where they were very competitive and made the playoffs, and it was a really exciting time around here. Before that, though, there was a pretty dark era here. If we're in one of these again, how long is it going to take, did he say, for us to see some wins again? Well,
he didn't want to put a specific timetable on it, but suffice it to say the next couple of years should definitely show progress. He talked to me about windows rather than pinpointing a year like 2018, for example. Instead, he said you look at these windows of time, and the next window is going to be in the next couple of years. And that's how they made the decision to trade people like Jay Bruce and Todd Frazier last year. Is their contracts were going to come up before this window opened, and they knew, okay, they're not going to be able to help us then, let's trade them and get some prospects now. One other interesting thing, I talked to Jed Hoyer, the Cubs general manager. They just went through a rebuild. He said the biggest danger is to try to rush it. So the important thing is for them to be patient.
So speaking of patience, personality types, when you talk to him, what's his background? What kind of guy is Dick Williams?
Yeah, it was really interesting. He's a very smart guy. He was a Jefferson Scholar finalist at the University of Virginia. That goes to some of the smartest people across the country. And one of his business peers told me he's one of the smartest guys he's ever worked with. But also, two great stories for you. One is in 1990, when the Reds clinched the National League title, beat the Pirates, Dick Williams ran onto the field in celebration, got arrested, and was handcuffed, and sat down on the edge of the field until the celebration was over. He got away with 1 day of community service. The other one is I was talking to a local investment banker. He said, oh, I know Dick. He plays on my adult hockey team. And he said, until 3 weeks ago, I had no idea Dick was the general manager of the Reds.
That's great. So, well, it's a great story in this week's paper, and thanks for being here to talk about it.
Thank you.
And Peg, back to you.
All right, great stuff. Thanks, Rob and Steve. And patience, Reds fans. Well, when it comes to the Reds payroll, Joey Votto is still far and away on top. But fans who aren't diehards might not recognize too many more players on the highest paid list this season because familiar players like Jay Bruce and Brandon Phillips have been traded as part of the rebuild process. Votto got a 10% raise this year, bumping his annual pay from $20 million to $22 million. That reportedly ties him for 14th in Major League Baseball for highest base salary. To see the list of the highest paid Reds, you can visit the Business Courier website. And we mentioned earlier that last week's opening day attendance set a record. The exact number was 43,804, exceeding opening day 2016 by 111 fans. The Reds lost 4-3 to the Philadelphia Phillies following a day of celebration, including the 98th Findlay Market opening day parade.